our home for the next few weeks. And today we are going to do a little bit of sailing, and we're going to give you a boat tour and introduce you to the owners and get to know the vessel. And we're in beautiful Fakarava, which is a remote atoll in the South Pacific, so life doesn't get any better. It's going to be a good day.
As most of you know, we sold our cruising catamaran to move on to a more performance-based and self-reliant vessel. And while it's going to be the first of its kind, Ticket to Ride is the big sister to our future boat and should give us a sneak peek at what we can expect.
Check water.
That's the little water. Hey.
I take water every time. Yep, good.
Boat forward and chain up. So anchoring here in the Tuamotus, there's so many bommies that you float your chain, and that's what we're doing now. We are picking up the little floats that hold the chain up to keep them from wrapping around a reef and damaging the reef. So it's kind of a extra step. It's a little bit of a pain, but it works really well. Same system we used when we were in the Tuamotus 4 years ago.
Back the boat up a little bit, back up.
Got it.
Chain down. Chain up. The water looks nice and clean, but lots of things going on down there. Outdoor sink. I love my outdoor sink.
Turn the engines off, and before we power off, we put the throttles in reverse so that we fold in our folding throttles, and then we power off. That way the propellers don't turn all around the way.
Look at that, 7 knots of speed. Jeez. At that angle with just the head sail up. So we are lazy sailing.
Feels good. Feels real good.
With just the head sail up, because we're not going that far, and we're going over to a spot to do the boat tour where it's absolutely gorgeous and there's all these bommies, so it'll look beautiful for a drone shot. At least that's what we're hoping. Hopefully the sun will pop out and give us that beautiful, crystal clear, light blue water.
Okay, so meet Frank and Mary Grace. They're the owners of this lovely vessel. So quickly tell us about Ticket to Ride.
It's 55-foot all carbon Daggerboard, M&M design, HH built China, delivered to Long Beach, California. And we love it.
And we've got about, what, 30,000 miles on here?
A little bit short of 30, but we're getting there.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
So 30,000 nautical miles. So tell us, you took delivery in Long Beach, California, and then you went where?
Down to Mexico, and then we went around the Sea of Cortez for a while, and we were planning on heading to French Polynesia when COVID hit. So we decided to direct the bows to Hawaii. From there we went to Alaska.
And Canada.
And then we sailed to the Marquesas.
And when you sailed to the Marquesas, you took off from where again?
La Paz.
And from La Paz to the Marquesas, how long was your passage?
16 sailing days, 2,800 miles.
2,800 miles in 16 days. Okay.
And that includes an equator crossing, which is usually not the fastest part of almost any passage.
Yeah. So we are going to start the tour while we're sailing, and we're going to start with the deck.
So even though this is a 55, it will be similar on our 44, just a little more compact. And starting with the front, we have big trampolines with a carbon fiber longeron for weight and rigidity that goes way out front for a whole suite of sails. And this beautiful seagull striker that's all carbon, super aerodynamic. It looks very sweet. And I will tell you about the sails, but I don't know anything about them, so I'm gonna grab Frank.
This is an overlapping Genoa, 120%. It overlaps the fore triangle by 20% more than 100, and on a single line furl.
Okay. And then you have a whole suite of sails here.
So, and you'll see them later on as we go through our travels in the Tuamotus. Our biggest, most downwind sail is called our Drifter, and it's 1.5 and 2 ounce nylon combination made by North Sails. We use it for true wind angles over 110 and in lighter winds. And then the next sail is our reacher. It takes us all the way from 120 true wind angle all the way down to 65. And it is a super fun sail to fly because we are going upwind and we are creating apparent wind, and it is just like a blast. And then inside of our furling Genoa, we have a staysail.
Self-tacking staysail.
We've actually even removed the staysail furler because everything that sits in the sun, we're just shortening its lifespan. If our staysail's up, it means it's super windy and it's wavy and we're bashing.
Yeah.
And that's not our favorite point of sail. So,
We avoid that point of sail if we can.
yes.
And these are obviously not sails. These are the big fat boys, the beanbags that everybody always loves, and it's very easy to see why. Best seat in the house. Give me that camera. One feature I really like is the Lifelines. They are Dyneema and they are 36 inches high. So it's a perfect height for me. I swear on our Leopard, they were a little bit lower. So it kind of clipped you like mid-thigh, which was still fine. But this is just so much higher, so it's much more stable. You can actually lean on them and take a rest here, which is really nice.
I feel like I should also point out fiberglass stanchions, Dyneema Lifelines. No polishing, no rusting, no stainless, lighter weight. That's awesome.
And then we are almost to our anchorage because fast boat, what are you gonna do? So I want to take you inside really quickly just to show you what it sounds like in there, what it feels like while we're underway, and then we'll come back and open up all the lockers and all that stuff. Just a quick walkthrough, but just to give you an idea of what this vessel sounds like and what the movement is like inside here. So we're now into the Salon area, and we'll take you down to our cabin so you can hear what it's like in the hull. This whole boat is just so quiet. It kind of blows my mind because we're used to so much more noise while we are underway, because Curiosity was a bit creaky. She was a lot older of a vessel, so she's just had gained a lot of those creaks over the years, but also just you could hear the water hitting the hull and everything else so much more. And here it's just like a little bit of a water sound, but not the sloshing, or you don't get any bridge slap, at least not in this sea condition. And we do have like, what's our wind speed out there? Like 18 knots, 19 knots?
Something like that.
Yeah, so it's not like it's a super calm day. I could easily.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
It's a pretty calm day.
It's a very smooth boat.
Yeah. Enough to make any man jealous.
Why I change bathing suits often.
It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it, Frank. This is also why you have an outside sink. It's crazy how much changes in just a few years, because here at the North Pass of Fakarava, we have 4G, and that definitely did not exist the last time we were here. I don't think if we had service, it was not enough to actually have data. I think we maybe just had cell phone service. So it's come a long way. But the moment that we pick up anchor and head out from here, which we're doing tomorrow, then we're probably gonna lose our Wi-Fi and our intraweb. So I'm trying to download movies and podcasts and books and all that kind of stuff before we take off.
But of course, because we are outside of the USA, a Prime looks all weird, and I am trying to download No Time to Die because we haven't seen it, and it's actually trying to charge me, and I know it's included with Prime. And that is called geo-restricting, which we have a way around thanks to our sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Because Surfshark is an app and web browser extension that lets us change our IP address to virtually place ourselves anywhere in the world to unblock websites and content that we couldn't access otherwise. And they have over 100 different countries that we can choose from to avoid these pesky geo restrictions on sites like Netflix and Amazon Prime. And we use it for all sorts of other things like getting better search results on rental cars and flights. Plus, it has a clean web feature, which means that we can surf in a clean cyber ocean with no ads, trackers, malware, or phishing attempts. It is seriously an invaluable tool for us. And right now, Surfshark is running a holiday special, and you can get 85% off plus 3 extra months for free if you use our discount code WYNNS. Most importantly, if you're not sure if it's a good tool for you, no worries. They offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out. You can just click the link in the description box below or scan the QR code on the screen. Okay, back to my downloading.
All right, we just dropped the anchor. The wind picked up. We got like 20 plus knots, so we're gonna get this deck tour knocked out. I'm gonna show you some of these lockers. This is a giant toy locker. So here we have all those spare lines. We've got spare parts down here, 2 full-size mountain bikes, and the water maker, which is tucked away here. He said it's absolutely beautifully installed, so.
So we have to look. Is it a thing of beauty?
It's definitely easy to work on. Wow, that's. Okay, you wanna see these?
Yeah!
So these are hatches, and inside here you'll find the windlass, spare ropes, lines, and some other miscellaneous stuff. So that's the anchor locker. And under here we have, I think he calls it the Mast electrical box. And it is just a waterproof box that is all the electrics that run down through the mast. So they have this like nice storage waterproof area that will make any sailor jealous. 'Cause I did not have that in our last boat. Also got your shore power cords and a couple other things, chairs. And behind me we have the generator locker. And what's interesting is this is the battery box, and they built a seat around it so he could sit here and work on his generator. It's pretty neat. Everything's really tidy back here behind me.
Very smart and practical.
Very practical. And then the last locker up here, another toy locker. We have kite boards, foil boards, surfboards, chamois, fishing poles, scuba stuff. Everything wet, he said, they store on this side. So this is kind of like their wet storage locker.
That's a lot of toys.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
You can hold a few bodies.
Yeah, 6 feet at least by 3.5 feet. I don't know. Okay, quickly touch on the mast. Carbon fiber mast, carbon fiber boom.
Everything's carbon fiber.
We have not a lazy bag, it's slightly different. It's just a sail cover because he has the boom racks, which are these things right here. And of course, all the lines are run back to the cockpits on both sides. I think that's all we need to cover right there. Oh, solar panels. 2,000 watts approximately of solar. So it has Daggerboards that are controlled by an electric line driver. And then the standing rigging is more like a race boat. Well, it is like a race boat. Okay, now we're at the helm. It's very nicely set up. We've got good visibility here. We have a massive B&G chart plotter here with inline displays, so it's kind of like heads up on a car. This is pretty neat. We have electric throttles from ZF. We have 3-speed electric winches. 3 speeds, that's a lot. Carbon fiber wheel and an emergency knife in case you need to cut any lines.
And even
Winch kill here. So if the electric winches sort of take off, or you get into a weird situation where you need to cut them, you just push that button, it kills all the winches. And that way you don't get your arm pulled in or who knows what.
right.
Don't even want to think about it.
Nope.
And then huge seat, which you saw earlier with the 3 of them sitting on here.
It's like a sofa at the helm.
Yeah, it's really nice. I can see why they spend most of their time up here during passage. One of my favorite features, the rain shower right here. So you come in, you're all salty, you just turn this on and you Okay, I'll shut that up. Don't want to waste water. You never have to go inside the shower. It's great. I mean, you can if you want to.
But why? But why?
Why?
When you can shower here. So now we are into the cockpit, and we wanted to bring Frank back because this is a good time to mention that their very first boat, well, was it your very first boat?
It wasn't our very first boat, but it was our first ocean-going vessel. Dante Peugeot, a HH44, named Let It Be. We loved our Helia. It was a great boat. It was a great way to start. We learned about what we didn't want, and we learned what we did want.
And one of the things you realized you did not want was a Davits system like you had on that boat.
Number one, we always had to take our engine off because it was too low. Number two, it would tilt in. So if it rained during passage,
It
it just tilted in more and more and more because it wouldn't drain to the back. And they only had a 200 pounds per davit weight limit, which always made us nervous. This is the davit system that James Hakes and myself and Meg Grace all designed, and it came out super well. The 4 major things that we wanted is, number one, it had to touch on all 4 spots on the boat. Number 2, it had to drain from bow to stern. Number 3, it had to be level, port and starboard, on the dinghy itself, so that all the water wouldn't accumulate to one side. It had to have enough strength so that if you filled the dinghy with water, it would still be there, which meant that it had to hold a little over 1,000 kilograms.
And there was one other thing that I wanted you to talk about, which was the winch.
You've heard me talk before about drifters and reachers. We sheet all those to here. They come through this turning block, and then they come into this winch. And I didn't really realize how important it was to have the perfect angle between the winch and the sheeting turning block. And that's why HH has tilted the outside of the winch up just a little bit, so that when the sheet runs into this winch, it will touch the shoulder first and then went onto the winch. Otherwise, if it was flat, it'd be very high likelihood that you would get an override on a lot of your sheeting operations.
The little details matter whenever things are really well thought out, and we're definitely seeing plenty of that so far, which is very exciting for us. And moving on to, I guess, where I'm sitting right now. Cockpit table. This is one of the decisions we have to make. Well, I should say cockpit table and inside dining table is, do we go for folding or not? Because otherwise it's just a standard table that's all one size, or you can get these folding leaves. And Frank and Mary Grace say go for folding. They like the extra space that it provides, and this is kind of more of a cocktail table, so they like the versatility, and they say they use it all the time. Now, for the inside table, it's interesting because they have the one that also lowers, and that's another thing we have to decide, do we want lowering tables or not? And they said they almost never lower their table, which is interesting because we never lowered ours either, even though we had the option. Yet we know other people absolutely love it, and they make it into like a little day bed all the time. But I think the reason they probably don't ever use it is because they probably don't feel the need for a day bed because they already have one. And that is right here. Why feel like you need to turn that into a little day area when you already have like the perfect lounge space right here? I do like this space. I foresee myself planted right here a lot over the next few weeks. All right, so moving right along, because otherwise I will just take it out. This outside storage area, this is another one we have been debating on heavily. Do we get this or a big bench seat that runs this entire length back here? Now, Frank and Mary Grace have opted for this big storage area, which I'm very happy to see in person. And it's still not an easy decision because they have a sink underneath here, outside fridge, or freezer, whichever one you want, and then just lots of storage, which works out really great for like snorkels and fins, and then of course just a fish cleaning station or whatever you want. It's tough because this is a really nice space, good buffet area for serving whenever you're hanging out and lounging, you got lots of people over. Or do you take the seat and have a big beautiful seat looking forward for while you're underway? I don't know. Okay, moving inside. Easily one of my favorite features on this boat is what I just walked through, which is the nothingness that flows from the cockpit to inside the boat. They have this massive pocket door essentially that opens up the entire boat. There are so many boats like the Bali and the Windaloo that have these big garage doors. This to me is just as good and a little bit better. I think it can be opened or closed anytime. Those others, you can't open them all the way up unless you are at anchor, because it's not okay to have it open while you're underway. They said they have opened that and they have not closed it. The only time
Since Alaska.
Yeah, since Alaska. And then they have this fantastic sunroof. The airflow is just, I mean, I'm sure as you can see my hair flying, they don't need to run their air conditioner hardly ever because it's so comfortable just with this nice breeze always flowing through the boat. All right, and then we've got, of course, you can kind of see the general layout. They have this big island, which I think is fascinating because it turns the galley into almost an L shape, yet a U shape. It just has this one gap. So now you've got 2 entry points to come in and out of the galley. If you're cooking here, you can still kind of do the lean method, which is definitely what I like to do. Kind of just lets you brace yourself so that no matter what's happening or how the boat might move, I feel very stable, everything's good. And then if you're here and you're washing dishes, you can still do the side hip lean. A very functional, great layout to this galley. I really dig it. And they have lots and lots of storage and refrigeration throughout this boat. They've got 1 outside, they've got 2 here, they've got another 2 here, which they designate as like their passage fridge and freezer. They have another one down in the hall, which I'll show you in a minute, but we haven't gotten there yet. But lots of refrigeration, no issues storing food, and then lots of storage, just everything underneath every space. Every cushion, even the stool for storage. And this one can be side table, or you flip it over and it becomes a stool. So everything is very practical and functional. Nothing is just for looks. And then of course that brings us to the inside nav area. So they've got an extra set of the electronic throttles, screen, C-zone, radio, water maker, all your jazz. And Frank said that his like night passage mode, or if weather's really crappy and he wants to be inside and doesn't want to be at the helm for some reason, that he left this space empty on purpose because you do get to kind of design your nav area. And he said this right here becomes his backrest, and this is his favorite spot to sit at night, or as I said, when the weather is foul.
So on our C-Zone screen, this is what we consider to be our monitor part of favorites: tanks, batteries, fuel levels. But we also have our favorite off and on switches, such as deck wash pumps, anchor light, hot water heater, beam winches, and then we just slide over to our control page.
That's cool.
And these are the main things that we turn off and on a fairly routine basis.
Stepping down into the guest hole, we're gonna stop right here. You've got these big sliding cabinet doors that reveal another freezer. And the washer dryer. And then they've got just lots of storage right here, which does make for a really excellent pantry space. So this is our guest cabin. This is where we're staying. Now the cool thing about seeing this space is our HH44 will be very similar to this cabin. Similar space, similar width, and we have these huge windows, which I really like. It makes the space feel so open and airy and light. But of course they do have blinds. They've got like day shades and blackout shades, so it gets very dark in here, which is really nice. It makes it easy to sleep because the sun comes up early around here. We've got lots of cabinet space. Nice big closet. Very big closet space. Drawers and even more. Just storage for days. And then, don't fall.
This is where I got a super wide lens. Sorry if it's a little warpy sometimes.
Yeah, because a lot of the larger HHs are all kind of semi-custom, build them out how you want. They decided to do a standalone shower and then a standalone head that both of the cabins could share. So we have a really nice big shower in here. And one feature that I really like that they did is this really big watertight cabinet. So your towels and your washcloths and all of your stuff that you want to stay dry is all in this nice big shelving area in here. You can actually come in, close the door, take your clothes off, put them in here, close that, shower, and then pull your towel out, dry off, put your dry clothes on, all that kind of stuff. So this is a really nice shower. I like it a lot. And then coming forward, we've got head and the forward cabin. Ta-da! With a very large closet. And then, of course, storage under the bed, all that jazz.
Okay, we'll go over to the owner's hole next. Here we have their wardrobe storage, and they said they custom did these slats with HH so that would be breathable, so their stuff wouldn't get all stuffy in there. That's
A little more airflow.
very neat. Obviously the king size master bed, a sitting area. I never know what these are for, but they seem to put them on a lot of boats. And another sitting area. You never know, you got choices, you got options. Nice comfortable mattress, storage underneath, plenty of storage in here as you can see.
And explain why they have a curtain.
This is super cool. There's a curtain, not because they want to hide their bed when they don't make it, but because they have an air conditioning, a very small 4,000 BTU air conditioner. Is that right, Frank?
That is the air conditioner we have run more than any other air conditioner, actually, to tell you the truth. It is a small 4,000 BTU, climate cool, runs on 110, has its own pump, and we can run it on about 250 amp hours in a 10-hour night.
Wow.
So it really helps us out a lot.
Okay, and then one more thing.
Yeah, wanted to ask you about the Daggerboards here. The compartment, we've seen in other cats where it's like the whole Daggerboard compartment would take up like almost the entire walkway through the hole, but this is really far out. So can you tell us a little bit about these Daggerboards?
Well, our Daggerboards are curved, and since the hull is curved, the Daggerboard actually fits the profile of the hull very well, so it takes up a minimal amount of space. I don't hardly know it's there. We use them for a towel rack and grab racks more than anything else.
Not just a towel
So-
rack. This is a custom molded. Is it carbon fiber?
They're carbon fiber, glued on.
It's just such a nice job. And then they test all of these Daggerboards to the weight of the boat.
They bend the Daggerboard to the weight of the boat,
Yeah.
which ours came out at 15.2 tons. 15.2 tons. It's amazing.
I've heard that the factory goes completely silent when they test them because they're taking this $50,000 piece of curved carbon and they're just putting pressure on it, and it's just everything falls silent because
You don't want to break it.
I was there when
Were
they were
you?
testing a board, and I was like, okay, I'm backing away from this.
Yeah.
I can see. But I don't think they've had a board failure yet.
that's what they told us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
And here is the tech space.
I'm so jealous. This thing is amazing. All of the wires are marked and numbered, and there's like a manual that tells you what every number means, what every wire controls. It's all stamped, and there's just access to everything here. We got lithium batteries on this side, inverters, Seafire automatic extinguisher thingy too, which is an upgrade we added on our HH44. Aircon switching relay. And all of these fuses and relays in here. It's really neat. If I wasn't getting one, I'd be really jealous right now. This is the head and the shower. So the shower here, obviously separate from the toilet, which is in here. Frank and Mary Grace said they wanted to be able to shower and go to the bathroom. Not both of them at this. You know what I'm saying? One person in there, one person in here, or one person brushing their teeth while the other's going to the bathroom. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just
They
the
wanted-
luxuries.
yeah.
They have 2 sinks. Of course, you can tell it's carbon. And plenty of storage in here. Loads of storage. I'm not even going to bother opening everything. And lots of bilge storage. The floors look really nice. I mean, there's so much we haven't touched on this boat.
But it would take all day, and
Yeah.
we've got snorkeling
We've
to
got
do before we
snorkeling.
sail
sailed
out of
all
here.
the way over here so we could go snorkeling, and that's what we're about to go do.
And one last thing, because they have this huge area here, and Frank says he's got tools,
yeah.
and he uses this as kind of a workbench area.
Yes, and they put this really structural vinyl over, so that way when he gets his tools out and sets them down temporarily, they don't scratch anything. And I think it's probably important to say that this is not wood that's gone bad. This is wood that's just being protected.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's go snorkel. Bye.
so shiny I can see myself.
All right. Shower and sail time.
Yo, Skipper!
I know, they gave me the helm already. Can you believe it? They're very trusting. Oh, but this boat just wants to go. She feels so good. They've got one reef in just because they're purposely trying to keep a slow speed. You can feel she wants more. Well, she's like, I mean, really?
Barely stretching my legs.
Oh, she's like, give me a little more. Look at that view from the sunroof. Oh my gosh. And then just so much visibility from inside. It's amazing. Just good views. No matter where you are on this boat, you get good angles, good views. I love it. It's just, I mean, and the stability, this is just bonkers. I mean, we're flying along at 11 knots and it's like it's nothing.
Wow, what a day. Beautiful day, couldn't ask for anything better. It's good to be back on the water.
And sundowner time.
Cheers to our first full day.
Manuya.
Manuya. Haha.
Haha.
I hope you enjoyed the tour and getting to know a little bit of Frank and Mary Grace. We'll get to know them and this vessel a lot more over the next few weeks. We are going to be doing a lot of sailing, a lot of exploring, and next time we'll be jetting off to another island. So stay tuned. We will see you then. And I'm gonna go enjoy my cocktail. Did I say thanks for watching? Because thanks for watching.
Bye.